What's going on, everybody? Jake the Happy Snake here, and welcome to the 6-year anniversary of Jake Wants to Be a Millionaire. And happy Easter once again to everybody. And this is episode 1566. Yeah, this series began 6 years ago today, which is absolutely crazy. If I was told on April 6, 2020 that this series would still be going on 6 years later in 2026, I wouldn't have believed it. I would have said there's no way that I'm going to be able to keep this series going for 6 years. But I've actually done that because I thoroughly enjoy making new episodes to this series. Like, when I record a new episode of this series, it brings me a sense of joy. Honestly, it's something that I really enjoy doing, and I'm not tired of it. It's so much fun. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire has always been my favorite game show, and there's a reason why I started a weekday series based on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So I hope everybody has had a spectacular Easter weekend. Friday was the Easter episode. The top prize was $1.8 million, and I won $25,000. So that brought my overall total to $101,130,150. That is the total amount of money that I have won in 6 years of this series. Yeah, 6 years, absolutely insane. And I'm going to be carrying on the tradition in today's episode, what I usually do for the anniversary episode. On the 1-year anniversary episode, I had one game of the Australian Game Boy Advance version of Millionaire because that is the version that I played in the very first episode of the series. On the 2-year anniversary episode, I had 2 games of that version. The 3-year anniversary episode, I had three games in that version, and so on and so forth. So today is the 6-year anniversary, which means I'm going to be having 6 games of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, specifically the Australian Game Boy Advance version. That is the version that I've always played on the anniversary episode because, like I said, it is the version that started the whole series. So here's a look back to some of the previous anniversary episodes. So, like I said, the first year anniversary episode, which was in 2021, episode 262, I only had one game, and I won $32,000. In the 2-year anniversary episode 523, I won $96,000. In the 3rd-year anniversary, it was episode 784, I won $189,000. In the 4-year anniversary episode, very similar to the 3-year. I had one more game because it was the 4-year anniversary. I had 4 games, and the only difference basically was I won an extra $1,000. I had the same, I won $25,000 twice. Excuse me, I won $32,000. I'm used to $25,000 because I've been playing the DS version. I won $32,000 twice and $125,000 once in both games. But in the 4-year anniversary episode 1045, I won an extra $1,000 because I had an extra game. And then last year, the 5-year anniversary episode, I won over $500,000 in total. I had a couple of really good games. I won $250,000 one game, and that was easily the best, obviously. But I want to see if I can make today's anniversary episode even better than that. That's what I like to do. I'd like to possibly win as much as I can win today, which is $6 million. That is what I could potentially win in today's episode, which that would be absolutely insane. This has potential to be a historic episode, and also this is the first anniversary episode since 2023 that is actually releasing on the actual anniversary of the series, on the day that this series began. Because the series began April 6, 2020. Today's April 6, 2026, because the last couple of years, April 6th has been on a weekend, so that's why the dates were a little bit different for the 4-year anniversary and 5-year anniversary episodes. So I'm very excited that I actually get to have the anniversary episode on April the 6th. That makes me very happy. But yes, 6 games I'm going to be playing of the Australian Game Boy Advance version. 6 chances to win $1 million. I won the top prize 4 times, I believe, in this version in total. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be a little bit rusty, but I'm going to try my best. I'm ready to get to it. Okay, the first game of the 6-year anniversary episode. All right, here we go. First question for $100. A famous Paris landmark is the Eiffel what? The Eiffel Tower. Okay. Going for $200. Where's the surname of TB Gomez, Morticia, Wednesday, and Pugsley? Adams. For $300, which of these is a common abbreviation of Christmas? Wymas. No, I'm kidding. Xmas, there we go. $300. Let's move on now to the $500 question. Which of these is a 1981 Australian film co-starring Mel Gibson? Gallipoli. Okay, now we are going for $1,000. Which group created the rock opera Tommy? The Who. There we go. That is $1,000, and that is guaranteed. So, I'm going to win at least $1,000 in this episode, which is nice. We are 10 away from the million. All the lifelines are there. We're now moving on to the $2,000 question. And here it is. REM stands for rapid eye movement. D, final answer. There we go. You know, it's kind of funny how much lower the money tree is in this version compared to the DS version, because, like, $2,000 after answering 6 questions. In the DS version, you only have to answer 3 questions to win $2,000. So the money tree in the DS version starts off quite a bit higher than it does in this version, but that changes later on, because as you can see, the second guaranteed level in this version is $32,000, whereas in the DS version, the second guaranteed level is only $25,000, so it does actually change. Yi is clarified butter, especially used in the cuisine of which country? I am almost certain this is India. So I'm going to say C, final answer. Okay, that's good. That is 4,000. We still have all the lifelines. Okay, moving on to the $8,000 question. Question 8. The symbol for iron is Fe. I'm okay with like the symbols for certain elements. It's not FO, I don't think. Fe. C. Final answer. All right, that's good. That is $8,000. Still have all the lifelines. This is going well so far. 8 out of 8. I don't want to be reckless. We are going out for $16,000. Still have all the lifelines. Here we go. Question number 9. I think this is 5. U.S. Army General. That's how many stars? I think this is 5. I would really hate to get this wrong, though. I'm going to phone a friend just to be on the safe side. I really hope that they come back and tell me that's not 5. I would have been going for $32,000 with all the lifelines. I really wasn't confident. I was really scared. Dang it. All right, whatever. We're still in the game. That's all that matters. We're going for $32,000. I got to get this one right. Papua New Guinea. I really feel like it's red. I really feel like it's red. I have a flag in mind. I played it safe in the last one, and I regretted playing it safe. Red, final answer. Yes! Oh my gosh. I took a chance on that. I had, yeah, so the flag that I'm thinking of is, yeah, I had a, because I used to be really good with flags. The flag that I have in mind, it must be Papua New Guinea. All right, we're 5 away from the million with 2 lifelines. We would have all 3 if I had got my gun, the 16,000, but whatever. That I shouldn't complain. We're going for $64,000 right now with 2 lifelines. I don't even recognize this question. Louis Blériot made the first flight over which body of water? I'm asking the audience. No idea. Maybe Gibraltar? Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. You know, that's really nice. I was hoping to save the 50-50. If it leaves B and C, I'll use the 50-50. If it leaves B and C, I'm going to be angry. C, final answer. Yeah, I think it's A. Yeah. That had potential to be so good. Oh my gosh. After I was like, English Channel sounds right. Oh my gosh, so I can't win 6 million. Dude, that's so disappointing. That's so disappointing. Alright, let's move on to game 2. Here's the first question for $100. Which abbreviation is a measure of someone's intelligence? IQ, which is something I don't really have. For $200, the Boeing 747 has how many engines? 4. For $300, which is a common abbreviation of Christmas. Xmas. It's not Ymas. Okay. Going now for $500. Albeit constitutional. What type of political entity is Britain? Monarchy. Yes, I'm sure. That is $500. Let's go for 1,000. Australian 60s pop star was Patty Little. There we go. $1,000 guaranteed. Okay. 10 away from the million. Let's move on to the $2,000 question. Here we go. Which term denotes the distance in degrees east or west from the meridian of Greenwich? Longitude. Okay. That is $2,000. Good. 6 out of 6. 3 lifelines are still there. Alright, let's move on to question 7, the $4,000 question. Here we go. Which word for a fool is also that for a rod measuring depth of oil in a car's engine? I think it's dipstick. Final answer. Alright, good. Very good. Okay, I really have to get a new chair, seriously. We are going now for $8,000. We still have all 3 lifelines. Here we go. has to be Jack. Outback Jack. Whew! Okay, I was not sure about that, but just... I have a stuffed animal named Kangaroo Jack. There was a movie called Kangaroo Jack. Alright, I gotta take a second. I've taken a couple of risks. Last couple of questions. We got $8,000. I'm back to where I was from game 1. We're going for $16,000. Here we go. I gotta breathe. The first 10 amendments of the U.S. Constitution. I'm gonna ask the audience. I just don't really want to risk again. Bill of Rights. It's kind of... I was thinking rights something. Bill of Rights or Rights of Man. Bill of Rights, final answer. But I wasn't as confident on that one as I was on the last $16,000 question from game 1. Okay, we got $16,000. We have 2 lifelines left. We are going for $32,000. This is the second guaranteed level. Here is the question. Question 10. Can you believe I actually think I know this? The Mikado was set in Japan, and I learned that from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. There was an episode. I shouldn't be explaining this because I really want to make sure that it is. I really just want to go for it and see if it is, because I'm afraid I might talk myself out of it. But there was a lady. There was an episode in the second season. There was a woman, Kamiko. That was her name, right? She was Japanese, and she went missing. The boys brought her to school and lost her, and then they had the mother take the place. Kamiko was supposed to be in a Japanese show at the hotel or whatever. So the mother took the place, and she said that she dated a Japanese guy, and they were working on an opera or whatever, or on a play or something called. And she said the Mikado. I remember the mother on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody saying the Mikado. So I'm saying A. Final answer. Excellent. Okay. I'm getting a second chance. This time I have to phone a friend. I don't think it's a good thing, but we are 5 away. We have 2 lifelines left. This is really good. Let's not mess this up, please. We're going for $64,000. I'm very anxious. Why isn't Great Southern one of the options? Which is not one of the 3 steamships built to Great 19th Century Engineer, Isambard, Kingdom, Brunel. I'm gonna phone a friend. And man, if this happens again, if the phone a friend has no idea, and I use the 50-50 and I get the question wrong, that's gonna be both games in this episode so far. That's gonna happen. And I'm gonna be very angry. Oh my gosh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen again. I'm gonna 50-50 and I'm gonna take a guess and it's gonna be wrong. I bet you anything it's gonna happen again. $50-50. Great Northern, final answer. Yes! Oh my gosh, okay, I'm so glad. Woo! I hate the fact that it took 2 lifelines. Thanks, phone a friend. Thank you for being useful, I really appreciate it. Alright, we're 4 away now. Going for $125,000. I might just go for it, I'm gonna be quite honest. $125,000 question. After what was the Bayano named? I'm gonna say a river. I'm gonna go for it. I want the million. How am I gonna get the million if I walk for $64,000? A river. Final answer. A town. Okay, that is both games. I have won $32,000. Okay, game 3 is up next. Here we go. $100 question. Which is a well-known colloquialism for a leader? Top dog. Going now for $200, which is another name for an undertaker. Mortician. Okay, for $300, the pug is a breed of which animal? Dog. Okay. For $500, Australian Lionel Rose was a champion in boxing. Alright, now the $1,000 question. Which abbreviation is a soldier in the U.S. Army? GI. There we go. That is $1,000, and that is guaranteed. Okay. Let's move on to the $2,000 question. Here we go. Which card game is also a type of bridge? Pontoon. Honestly, I probably should have just walked to 64,000. That would be like that's like two $32,000 wins in one, basically. Anyway, going for $4,000. Edward Jenner discovered the vaccination for smallpox by infecting a boy with what disease? Cowpox. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. I figured pig pox, goat pox didn't sound right. I couldn't decide between house pox or horse pox and cowpox. Okay, we're going for $8,000. I really am running out of steam to take risks, which is really bad because we're not even halfway through. So if I don't know this, I might just use a lifeline. Which of these European countries is a republic? I actually think I do know this. I think it's Portugal. Republic of Portugal. So I'm going to go D. No! I know Spain. I know it's not called the Republic of Spain. Portugal is my final answer. Good. Very nice. It's hard for me to remember some of these. Now, if I could get a $16,000 question that I had, the one from Game 1 or the one from Game 2, that would be amazing. I have not been able to get through this level yet in this episode without using a lifeline, so we'll see if I can do it now. Here we go. $16,000 question. Somnambulism. Trying to think. Does that link anything? Somnium. Dreaming? Might be dreaming. Okay, I'm gonna do what I did in game one. I'm gonna actually, because the phone a friend didn't help me at all. I mean, now that the audience, the $64,000 question from game one, but I'll phone a friend. Please, please, please know the answer. If they come back and say I have no idea, I'm gonna be furious. Sleepwalking. Okay, phone a friend. Thank you. Okay, that is 16,000. We still have 2 lifelines. There's been a bit of a pattern going on. I'm gonna be honest. So far, it's all 3 games. I've gotten through the first 8 without using a lifeline, used a lifeline on the ninth question, and then gotten the 10th question right without having to use another lifeline. We'll see if that happens here. $32,000 question. Which tree is an import native of New Zealand? I know there's an R in it. That's all I know. I think it might be B or D. 50-50 could be a good option here. I'm gonna ask the audience. I don't want to drop down to 1,000. Okay, I'm gonna trust that. Final answer B. That does sound right to me, actually. Thank you, audience. That is 3 episodes in a row. $32,000. 3 games in a row, not episodes. Used to saying that. Okay, so the 50-50. We are 5 away from the million. Let's go for $64,000, shall we? Let's get this right without having to use the 50-50. I have to use the 50-50. In which year did Yuri Gagarin become the first man to travel into space? 61, maybe? 62? 61. Final answer. Yes! Thank you! Oh my gosh. Okay, honestly, just so I can avoid winning $32,000 every single game, if I don't know the answer to this next question, I might just walk. I'm gonna be serious. I should have probably walked with 64,000 in the last game. 4 away from the million. I would also really like to get this right, so here we go for $125,000. Who is the purest and noblest knight of Arthurian legend? I am gonna have trouble with this. It's either A or D. I'm about 90% sure it's either A or D. I am probably gonna take my time with this. Because I am I have a very strong feeling that it is Galahad or Lancelot. Now, which one? Which one? They both seem... I hate that when there's 2 answers that both seem as right as the other one. I am struggling with what to do here. Dude, what do I do? Do I go for it or do I walk? Because I really don't want to have $32,000 in every single game in this episode. Because that's the way it's starting to look like. I feel like whatever one I go with, it's going to be the other one. That's what I think. Because that's the way it always feels with me. I can't decide which one I think. I can't decide which one I would go with. So honestly, the best option would probably be to walk. I'm going to say Lancelot. Final answer. All right, the episode's half over. Here's game 4. First question for $100. Which series of films features hobbits? Lord of the Rings. Okay. For $200, which letter of the alphabet represents the principal side of vinyl record? A. I mean C. I mean D. No, I'm kidding. Okay, that's $200. Here we go for $300. Geometry of line meeting another at right angles is described. Perpendicular. Okay, that is $300. Here we go now for $500. Which term can apply to a type of furniture? Recliner. That's $500, and now we are going for $1,000. The American pioneer of mass production for motor vehicles was Henry Ford. $1,000 guaranteed. Not bad. Okay. 10 away from the million. We are going for $2,000 now. Which of these gases is commonly used to inflate lighter than air balloons? Helium. Okay. That is $2,000. Let's move on to the $4,000 question. In the Bible, who is condemned robber released instead of Jesus? Barabbas. Final answer. Okay, that is $4,000. Let's move on to the $8,000 question. Here it is. Which is both a coarse-mannered woman and a woman who sells fish. I'm really thinking fish maiden, but I don't know why. I shouldn't. I'm gonna phone a friend. I really think it's D. I should. Why do I make this decision and then just end up regretting them? Fishwife! That's why I dupe. That's why I play it safe. Sometimes I play it too safe, but anyways, like I did in game 1. All right, that is $8,000. We have 2 lifelines left. You know, playing this many games in one episode is pretty exhausting. Like in this episode, I'm playing 6 episodes worth in this episode. That's more than a week. That's a week and a fifth. Fields made by which Hollywood studio are introduced by its logo of a spinning globe? It is Universal, right? Gosh, I hope it's Universal, because I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm going to go with. It's not Paramount. MGM. Universal, final answer. Thank goodness. Okay. That is $16,000. I actually made it past that level without having to use a lifeline. That's the first time in this episode. This episode is so far it's not consistent with the other 3. I had to use a lifeline on the $8,000 question. I did not use a lifeline on the $16,000. Maybe I'll win more than 32. Who knows? $16,000 question, or excuse me, $32,000 question. Great 17th century painter Jean Vermeer. I think French, but I really don't want to get this wrong, so I'm just going to play it safe and ask the audience. %40 say A, which is not French because French was D. Which one was A? Dutch. Final answer. $32,000. Again. I mean, it's good that I keep getting to this level because I'm getting guaranteed 32,000, but I want to win more than 32,000. We are 5 away from the million, once again with the 50-50. Can I go on a roll, please? Come on, give me some questions that I'm sort of familiar with. This is for $64,000. Ninth sign of the zodiac. Sagittarius. Final answer. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, I was really scared about doing that. Okay. Okay. Take a deep breath, Jake. 4 away. We still have the 50-50. We are going now for $125,000 again. Here we go. Question 12. Which of these is the type called a meerschaum? I think it's tobacco pipe. I have the 50-50. Tobacco pipe, final answer. Yes! Okay! Sometimes all you have to do is ask. All you have to do is ask, and you could receive. I asked, did you give me some questions that I'm sort of familiar with, and I have been sort of familiar with the last couple. We got the 50-50 still. We're going for $250,000. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm going for $250,000 with a 50-50, and I do not know the answer to this. Although, it kind of looks familiar. 1924 kind of standing out. But I don't know if that's because 2024 was just a couple years ago. It could be 1914. I know it ends in 4. Starts in 1, ends in 4. I know that. That was so bad, Jake. Why did you make that joke? Dude, I really want to get this right. I really want to get this right. But I got 125,000. That would be really nice to walk with that. Because at least I would actually have at least one pretty good game. All right, let's figure this out before I 50-50. Now, I think it's A or C. That's what I said. That doesn't mean it is A or C. It might not be. But I think it is. Which one do I think it is, though? Am I going to do it? Am I going to 50-50 and take the risk? Because I don't want to win 20. I don't want to win $32,000 again. That's going to be four games in a row. I really don't. I should just walk, but I don't like to walk with the 50, like after using the 50-50. I've done that, I think, but I don't like to do it. Please don't leave A and C. Please don't. 50-50, here we go. I'm going to close my eyes. It left A and C. Let's say 1924. I'm going to do it. I'm going to risk $93,000. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, I am so happy about that. Thank goodness. We are 2 away. We are now going for $500,000. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I remember the answer to this. I actually remember the answer to this one. I'm not kidding. Late actor George Malaby played the role of Paul Donovan in which Australian TV series? I actually remember this. It's the box. This is a question I remember having. And the one I remember that I'm thinking of was for $500,000. It's the box. I have never won more than $250,000 on any anniversary episode. C, the box. Final answer. What? I can't believe it. I cannot believe that. That was lucky. I just got super lucky. To get that question and to get lucky on the 50-50 and the $250,000 question. Was my camera always like this? I hope not. This is crazy. I have mentioned that I've won the $1 million in this version 4 times, and I've gotten the $1 million question wrong in this version at least 3 times. I have a list. I don't know if I can find the list. I don't even know if it's in... Yeah, this is the list. Only twice? 161 and 720. Those are the only episodes that I got it wrong in this version? Okay. Anyways, I've seen the correct answer to 6 different $1 million questions in this version is what I'm trying to say. So, with that in mind, we're going to go for the $1 million. I can't believe that I've actually made it here. I cannot believe that I've actually made it. We're going to do it on the 6-year anniversary episode. We're playing for $1 million. Here we go. Question 15 for $1 million. The $1 million question is, the penalty spot on a soccer pitch is normally how many meters from the goal line? $13, $12, $11, $10. Okay. So I have had this question before. And I'll tell you how I remember. I'll tell you why I remember having this question before. This was the first ever $1 million question that I ever saw in the series. Not kidding. Episode 45. My brother-in-law Dan, my sister's husband, he guest starred in that episode. That was the first episode he had ever guest starred in. And we played this because this is the version I was playing. It was episode 45, so that was still the first season, and this was the version that I was playing. And we actually made it to the $1 million question, and he thought that the correct answer was 11. But I was scared to go for it because, like I said, that was the first ever $500,000. That's the first time I had ever won $500,000. First time I had ever won $500,000 in this series. I was scared to go for it because I didn't want to lose $468,000 after just winning the $500,000 for the first time. He thought it was 11. I think I sort of talked him out of wanting to go for it, and we ended up walking. But we did find out the right answer, because that's what I used to do that a lot. I do it now every so often. Not I try not to do it too often. I try to do it as little often as I can now. But back in the day, I used to quite often find out what the right answers were. Not because I wanted to know the right answer, because I wanted to know the right answer. Obviously, I wanted to know the right answer, but what am I trying to say? I don't even know what I'm trying to say. We looked at the right answer afterwards, and he was right. The correct answer was 11. That's what I'm trying to say. I think I'm taking too long to explain this. I'm going to be honest. So I know that the answer to this question is 11. I'm pretty sure. Now I need some time to make sure. I don't think I've seen this. Has any of my other $1 million wins in this version been? Have I had this question? Have I had this question since then? I don't think so, but I could be wrong on that. This is crazy. I actually cannot believe how lucky I've been in the last 5 questions. I have not won the $1 million since July. $468,000 is what I'm risking. I've gotten very lucky. There's a really good chance I could have had $1 million questions that I did not know the answer to, because I've won $500,000 quite a few times in this game without ever finding out what the right answers were to those $1 million questions. But I'm pretty sure the right answer to 11. Now, the only one that's kind of throwing me off is 13, but I'm pretty sure it was 11. That was a long time ago. That was almost 6 years ago. Episode 45. That's pretty early on. That was pretty early on in the series. I can't believe it. After how the first 3 games in this episode have gone, I can't believe that I can't believe this is happening. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the correct answer is 11, so I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna risk $468,000. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, this is actually crazy. We're gonna go C11. Final answer. Yes! There it is. There it is. $1 million. Oh, on the 6-year anniversary. We won $1 million on the 6-year anniversary. Oh, wow. Dude, that's nuts. After the way the first 3 games were going, I did not think I was going to break my record or break my score from last year's anniversary episode. Actually, I won just over $500,000 last year. I didn't think I was the way the first 3 games went. I thought there's no way I'm gonna do it. There's no way I'm gonna break last year's record. I did, and as a matter of fact, actually something I just realized. No matter what happens, because I won $32,000 3 times. That's $96,000. I've just won $1 million. No matter what happens now for the rest of this episode, that is now the second most amount of money I have won in a single episode. I know I'm playing multiple games. That's the only really way I can do that is by playing multiple games. Because even if I play one game and win the $1 million, which I've done several times, there's no way I can break the record. So this is beyond what you should be able to do normally. But some episodes I do play multiple games, like this episode. And you know what's actually hilarious? I have a chance to break the number 1 spot. The number 1 spot is $1,335,000, which I won in episode 1000. I won $1 million one game in that episode, almost twice. So I believe now that this episode has already moved into second, passing episode 1400. This episode has passed, or excuse me, passing episode 1500. 1400 was already number 3. So this episode has passed episode 1500 as the second most amount of money I've won in a single episode. I could pass episode 1000. I would have to have another couple of really good games. I can't believe that I just won the $1 million. But the way that game was kind of going, I was like, this isn't going well. But after the $30,000 question, I got super lucky. The $500,000 and $1 million questions, I for sure knew the answers to. Wow. With a mustache. That's my first $1 million win with a mustache. The first $1 million win in 2026. The 5th one in this version, I think. Crazy. That is unreal. There's still 2 games left, by the way. There's still 2 games left. I could pass number 1. I'm going to try to make it happen. Unbelievable. Well, as much as I would like to continue to celebrate, like I said, there are still 2 games left to play, so let's get started with Game 5. Here we go. The $100 question, which is a well-known colloquialism for a leader. Top dog. Dude, that's crazy. That's my first $1 million win in 2026. Who became Australia's Prime Minister in 1996? John Howard. All right, for $300, made in 1987 was the U.S. film Three Men and a What? Baby. Now we're going for $500. Which of these senses relates to acoustic hearing? All right, now for $1,000, an Australian 60s pop star was who, Patty? Little. There we go. $1,000 guaranteed. All right. So we're 10 away from my second consecutive $1 million. We still have all the lifelines. Let's go for $2,000 now. Which color is not one of the three making up the Italian flag? Blue. For sure. Okay. $2,000. All right. Now we are going for 4,000. How did U.S. singer John Denver die in 1997? I'm pretty sure this is plane crash. So I'm going to say A, final answer. Good. I think I might have momentum. We'll see. We will see. Okay. Going now for $8,000. Here we go. A newt? I recognize this question. I'm gonna say amphibian. Yes. Okay. Good. This is going well. This is going well. $8,000. We are now going for $16,000 with all three lifelines. Here we go. Christoph Gluck was a great 18th century German what? I think composer. You know what? I've already won over $1 million in this episode. Almost 1.1 million. What's another 1,000? Like, honestly, like, if I get it wrong and I win 1,000, like, composer, final answer. Yes! Okay. This is now the longest I've gone in this episode without using a lifeline. First 9. Still all 3. If it could only take one lifeline to get this next question right, that would be very nice. We're 6 away now from my second straight $1 million win. We're going for $32,000. This is A. Didn't I have this already? Yeah, A. This is A, I'm pretty sure. Final answer. I think I already had this one. The previous game. Wow, okay. This is unexpected. I got to the first 10 without having to use a lifeline. We are 5 away from $1 million, again, with all 3 lifelines. I like how this is going. We're going for $64,000 right now. Let's not get overconfident, please. The sun is composed chiefly of which gaseous element? Hydrogen. Pretty sure it's hydrogen. I learned about this stuff in my astronomy course. Final answer. Wow. Wow. 11 straight questions. Technically more than that because I didn't use a lifeline on the 500,000 or $1 million questions. I gotta take a second here. This is wild. We're 4 away from winning the million again, and I have all 3 lifelines still. How often in the past in this version have I made it to the $125,000 question without using the lifeline? Not often. Okay. I'm getting lucky again. I will say, I thought I got pretty unlucky in the first 3 games, but the last game and this game, my luck has turned, I think. It's safe to say that. We are going for $125,000. Here we go. Question 12. This is wild. This is actually wild. This is the 3rd time that I've had this question on an anniversary episode. Now, I was looking through the other anniversary episodes earlier before I started recording this. I can't remember, since I looked through all 5 of them, I can't remember which ones I had. I think I had it, did I have it last year? Whatever the second one was that I had, I didn't mention that I had it previously. But because I didn't remember. But now, it's just because I've just recently looked through I think I had it last year, maybe the 2-year anniversary. I can't really remember, but anyways, because of that, because I was looking through them, not to look for the right answers, but because I was looking for certain information, like what questions did I get wrong, which level did I lose on, that kind of stuff. It's rattlesnake. I'm sure of that. D, final answer. What is happening? This is crazy. This is actually wild. Oh my gosh, this is wild. Only once in the whole series have I won the top prize 2 games in a row. 2 episodes in a row, but in this case, 2 games in a row. That was episode 1149 and 1150. There's potential. I cannot screw up. If I don't know it, I'm going to play it safe. If I'm only going to go for it if I'm absolutely 100% sure. We are 3 away from the $1 million. My 2nd consecutive $1 million. With all 3 lifelines. I haven't used a lifeline yet. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, I actually might break my record from episode 1000. $12 straight. Here we go. Question 13 for $250,000. It could take all 3 to get past this one. When an animal does not make up the part of the body of the Greek mythological chimera. Let's phone a friend and hope that we get lucky again. I think it's dragon, but again, I'm not sure. I have all my lifelines. Let's just phone a friend. I really hope it doesn't take all 3, but it could. I was afraid of this. Okay. Let's ask the audience. I am comfortable going with that. Serpent? I'm comfortable going with that. Final answer A. Yes! It took 2 lifelines, but we got past it. Yes! 250,000. Oh my gosh, 2 away. We're going for $500,000 with the 50-50. That's actually really scary. This is for $500,000. When was the African Union established as the Organization of African Unity? The 40s, maybe? I'm thinking it's the 40s. It could be the 20s. Okay, so I have to make a decision here. I have to make a decision if I want... So, if I walk away right now with $250,000, then no matter what happens in Game 6, I will break my record. I will break my record in I will break my record from episode 1000. But with that being said, I'm this close to winning $500,000 again. Potentially $1 million again, if I actually happen to know the answer to the $1 million question. If I 50-50 and take a guess, and my guess is right, I'm going for $1 million for the second straight game, which I can't believe. And like, if I walk right now, I will. Like, I'm not going to walk right now. I'm going to use the 50-50. But then if I walk then, I don't think I can. I think I'll be too tempted to go for it. If I walk then, with after using the 50-50, then I will for sure, no matter what happens in Game 6, I will for sure pass. It will be 1,346,000, I think. If I'm doing my math properly. But I'm not going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that. Because we're still Game 6. Still have a chance to get back up there to games with Game 6. I'm going to use the 50-50. I'm not going to bother looking at... Well, I would like to break my record from episode 1000, but to get the $1 million again would be unbelievable. So I'm going to 50-50. Okay. The 20s and the 60s is what we're left with. I'm going to go for it. Which one do I pick? This is going to be painful. I've gotten the $500,000 question wrong a lot in the DS version lately. And I think I've gotten this question wrong. I think I've lost in this level at least 2 other anniversary episodes, so it would be fitting if I got it wrong here. I'll say the 1920s. Final answer. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, that was so close. Well, like I said, this is not new to me. I've gotten the $500,000 question wrong, I think 3 times in the DS version in the last like 2 or 3 weeks. That hurts. That does hurt. What can I say other than the fact that it's time to get to the sixth and final game? Here we go, the last $100 question of the episode. What kind of animal is the famous film character King Kong? Gorilla. Okay, now we are going for $200. What type of animal is a lorikeet? Bird. Okay, now for $300. The RSPCA is the Royal Security for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Okay, now for $500, who is the lead singer of the legendary rock band The Rolling Stones? Mick Jagger. That is $500. Now we are going for $1,000. The main ingredients of BLT sandwich are bacon, lettuce, tomato. That's pretty simple. Banana! That would be very interesting. And also disgusting. Okay, that's $1,000. 10 away from the million. I have won the million twice out of 3 episodes. So let's see if or twice out of 3 games. Still within 1 episode, technically, this is. Okay, here we go. For $2,000. And where sit it? Set it. I know I remember this question, but my brain is pretty fried after playing 5 games right now. Egypt. Okay. That's $2,000. Do you think I could actually make it past $30,000 level every game? I'm gonna try. I will try. Going for $4,000. Controversially occupied by Israel since 1967 has been the what bank? South Bank, North Bank, West Bank, East Bank. Gonna phone a friend. West Bank. Okay, thank you, phone a friend. B, final answer. Okay, $4,000. Let's move on to the $8,000 question with 2 lifelines left. The Disassociatives is an outfit comprising Paul Mack and which singer? Daniel Johns, maybe? I don't know. I don't really recognize this question. I'm gonna ask the audience. Is that where Long Johns comes from? Okay, Alex Lloyd. That's pretty close though. Final answer D. Are you kidding me? I was thinking, that's what I said, right? I said Daniel Johns. The 6th game of the episode was easily the worst game. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. Oh my gosh. Well, that's it. All 6 games have been played. Definitely a historic episode. Holy smokes. Okay, so $32,000 in the first 3 games, games 1, 2, and 3. $1 million in Game 4, another $32,000 in Game 5, and then $1,000 in Game 6 is a grand total of $1,129,000. That is what I won in this episode. So that is added to my overall total, and that brings it up to $102,259,150. So I have hit the $102 million mark in this episode, which is awesome. I mean, that $1 million win in Game 4 really, really helped. Like, that was amazing. That was the 23rd top prize win in the series. Absolutely crazy. The fifth top prize win, the $5 million win in that version, in the Australian Game Boy Advance version, and the first top prize win in 2026. It has been a while. It has been a while since I have won the top prize. The last one was in July. It was in August. That was the last one, not July. It was in August, episode 1400. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. A historic episode, for sure. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. And I will see you all back here tomorrow where I will be back to playing the DS version of Millionaire. And yeah, 6 years. Cannot believe it. Absolutely cannot believe it. This was a historic episode. This episode moves into number 3 for the most amount of money I've won in one episode. I mean, I could have walked away in Game 5. I could have walked with $250,000 and I would have broken number 2 and number 1. Number 2 is episode 1500 with the $1,250,000 win. And then of course episode 1000 is still number 1 with the winning $1,335,000. And also this episode is now the second longest episode in the whole series. Of course, the 1000th episode is still at number 1 with being over 2 hours long. But this episode passes last year's anniversary episode as being the second longest episode in the whole series. So that's cool. But anyways, guys, that is it for this anniversary episode. Again, thank you everybody for watching, and to anybody who has actually watched every episode from the beginning for the last 6 years. I really appreciate it. And again, happy Easter to everybody. And I'll see you all back here tomorrow where I'm going to be back to playing the DS version. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Peace out.